Imagine staying warm all winter without ever turning on your furnace, using gas, or even plugging in an electric heater. Sounds impossible, right? But for generations, the Amish have been doing exactly that. And it works. Today, I'm sharing 25 clever Amish secrets that will help you keep your home warm and cozy without relying on electricity, gas, or sky-high heating bills. Let's dive in. Curtains and drapes. Most people don't realize how much heat they're losing through their windows during winter. Think of curtains and drapes as your window's winter coats. Without them, all that precious warmth escapes right through the glass. The thicker the curtains, the better they are at keeping your home cozy. The Amish have mastered this. They use heavy wool curtains or thick fabric drapes that do an incredible job at blocking out those icy drafts. But here's the real magic: timing. During the day, they throw their curtains wide open to let the sunlight pour in and naturally warm up their rooms. Free heating, courtesy of the sun. Then, as soon as the sun dips, they close everything up tight to trap all that warmth inside. It's such a simple method, but it's amazingly effective. Touch a window on a cold day and you'll feel just how chilly it gets. Now imagine that cold creeping into your room all day and night. Without proper curtains, that's exactly what's happening. Good curtains act like a shield between your warm, cozy room and the cold glass. Plus, they make your space look nicer, so it's like getting double the benefit. Just be sure your curtains reach all the way to the floor for maximum draft protection. A small detail, but it makes a big difference in keeping the warmth where it belongs. Layer up. One of the oldest and easiest tricks for staying warm in the winter is layering your clothing. Start with a base layer of thermal undergarments to trap heat close to your skin. Add a thick wool vest. Don't worry, they're not just for grandpas anymore. They're actually making a solid comeback in winter fashion. Then, top it off with a cozy flannel shirt and voila! You've built your own personal heating system without ever touching the thermostat. The beauty of layering is that it's flexible. If you start feeling too warm, you can just peel off a layer, unlike cranking up the heat, which can leave you sweating like you're in a sauna. The Amish have been using this method for generations, and they've mastered the art of staying warm without relying on modern heating. They layer up with natural fabrics like wool and cotton, which trap heat in insulating air pockets and keep body warmth from escaping. It's simple, effective, and practical. Proof that the old-school ways still work best. Bake and cook with the wood stove. Ever notice how the kitchen feels like the coziest spot in the house when you're cooking? That's because cooking doesn't just feed your family. It warms up your home, too. The Amish take full advantage of this by connecting their kitchens to their living rooms, ensuring none of that heat from cooking goes to waste. Using a wood stove for cooking is like tackling two jobs at once. Whether you're baking bread, simmering stew, or roasting veggies, that stove pumps out heat, warming the whole room while you prep your meals. The clever part comes after you're done cooking. Crack the oven door open and let all that leftover heat spill out into your space. It's like having a mini heater that just made you dinner. In Amish homes, the wood stove is the heart of the house. They plan their cooking to make the most of its heat. Baking in the morning warms up the house for the day, while cooking dinner in the evening keeps things cozy as the outside temperature drops. They'll even keep a pot of water simmering on the stove to add some humidity to the dry winter air, which makes the room feel even warmer. It's a perfect example of how something as simple as cooking can do double duty, keeping your family fed and your home toasty all at the same time. Wool socks. There's an old saying, cold feet make for a cold body, and it's 100% true. Your feet are like your body's temperature regulators. If they're cold, the rest of you feels cold too. That's where wool socks come in. These aren't just any socks. They're your feet's best friends during the winter. Wool socks are nature's ultimate foot warmers, carefully designed to trap heat and keep your toes toasty. The Amish have relied on them for generations, spending long hours outdoors in freezing weather. They know that a good pair of wool socks can turn a miserable, freezing day into a comfortable one. The best thing about wool socks? They're built to last. Unlike cheap cotton socks that fall apart after a few washes, a well-made pair of wool socks can keep your feet warm for years if you take care of them. And as a bonus, wool naturally fights off odors. It's like having a built-in air freshener for your shoes. So, if you want to stay warm from the ground up, invest in some quality wool socks. Your feet and the rest of your body will thank you. Wear long underwear. Long underwear is one of the easiest and most effective ways to stay warm during winter. Just slip it on under your regular clothes, and you'll feel the difference instantly. It's like having a warm, snug blanket wrapped right against your skin. You can get it in wool or cotton. Both are great at keeping the cold out. The Amish have been using long underwear for generations, and they've mastered staying warm without relying on modern heating. What's so great about it? It's simple. Just one extra layer under your clothes creates a huge difference in warmth. You won't even notice it's there under your regular outfit, but you'll definitely feel cozier. Plus, unlike cranking up the heat, it won't cost you a penny more once you've got a good set. So if you want a low-cost, high-impact way to fight off the cold, grab yourself some long underwear. It's one of those little things that makes a big difference. Heating pads or warm stones. Feeling chilly? Here's an old-school trick that's been keeping people warm long before electricity was a thing. Instead of cranking up the thermostat, focus on heating specific spots in your home with heating pads or warm stones. It's like having a personal little sun warming you exactly where you need it most. The Amish have a genius way of doing this. They heat stones on their wood stoves or in their ovens, then wrap them in thick cloth to use as portable heaters. Some tuck them under blankets to warm up their beds before sleeping, while others keep them near their feet or lap while sitting. These stones hold heat for hours, slowly releasing warmth throughout the night. If heating stones isn't your thing, a regular heating pad works just as well. Pop it under your feet while you're watching TV, behind your back while reading, or in your bed to warm it up before you sleep. Heating pads use very little electricity compared to heating an entire room, and they warm you up much faster too. It's an easy, efficient way to stay cozy without breaking the bank. Wrap up in blankets. When it comes to staying warm, the simplest solutions are often the best. Blankets are like a cozy shield against the cold, and they're more effective than most people realize if you choose the right kind. Wool blankets and thick quilts are your best friends here. The Amish have truly perfected the art of blanket making. Their quilts aren't just warm, they're works of art, stitched with care and passed down through generations as family treasures. Each one tells a story through its patterns and craftsmanship, made to provide comfort on even the coldest nights. But don't worry, you don't need to be a master quilter to enjoy the benefits of a good blanket. Keep a few quality ones in your living room, ready to wrap around you while you're reading or watching TV. At night, layer them on your bed strategically. Start with the thickest blanket on the bottom and add lighter ones on top. This creates insulating air pockets that trap heat, just like how birds fluff their feathers to stay warm. It's simple, practical, and cozy. Everything you need to beat the winter chill. Draft protection. Seal those drafts around your windows and doors. Cold air is sneakier than you think. It finds every tiny crack to creep into your home, like tiny holes in your winter coat. Even the smallest gaps can let in enough cold air to make your place feel chilly. But don't worry, fixing it doesn't take fancy tools or expensive materials. The Amish have this down to a science. They make simple draft stoppers using old fabric, filling them with whatever's handy, cloth scraps, wool, or even dry hay. These little DIY stoppers work wonders at blocking drafts sneaking under doors or around window frames. Not sure where the cold air is coming from? Try this old school trick. Wait for a windy day and hold a thin piece of cloth near your windows and doors. If the cloth moves, bingo, you found a draft. Once you know where the problem is, seal it up with whatever you've got lying around. Old towels work great for doors and for windows. Try pressing cloth strips into the gaps or stuffing wool into bigger holes. The key is to be thorough. Every draft you block keeps more warmth inside, right where you want it. It's a simple fix that makes a big difference. Draft dodgers. Here's a fun and super cheap way to stay warm. Draft dodgers. These are like long, skinny pillows that sit at the bottom of doors and windows to block out cold air. They might sound fancy, but they're actually super simple to make, and they work like a charm. All you need are some old socks, the longer the better, or any spare fabric you've got lying around. Fill them with something heavy that blocks drafts, like uncooked rice, dried beans, or even cat litter. These materials work great because they're heavy enough to stay put and flexible enough to mold to any gap. The Amish often use natural fillers like straw or wool, which work just as well. The beauty of draft dodgers is that you can use them anywhere cold air sneaks in, under doors, along windowsills, or even on those old drafty basement doors. They're especially handy for doors you don't use often. Just pop one in place and forget about it until spring. If you're feeling creative, you can even dress them up with colorful fabrics or sew on some buttons to turn them into fun little decorations. Just make sure to store them in a dry spot during the summer, so they're ready to keep you cozy next winter. Practical, easy, and a little fun. What's not to love? Exercise to stay warm. One of the easiest and most effective ways to warm up when it's cold? Just get moving, and it won't cost you a penny. The Amish know this secret well. They stay active all day long, whether it's through farm chores, building projects, or even playing their traditional games like volleyball. It's a pretty genius approach. You're getting stuff done and keeping warm at the same time. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Simple activities like walking up and down stairs, doing some stretches, or even dancing around while you clean can make a big difference. Feeling cold? Stand up and move around for just 5 minutes. You'll be surprised how much warmer you feel. Even small tasks like folding laundry or organizing a closet can get your blood flowing and your body temperature up. The best part? Staying active doesn't just warm you up in the moment. It also keeps you healthy. The Amish are constantly on the move. Whether it's heading outside to feed animals, gathering firewood, or working in their workshops. They don't need fancy exercise equipment or gym memberships. They just keep busy with everyday activities. And here's a cool bonus. Moving around boosts your metabolism, which helps you stay warmer even after you sit back down. So, whether it's a quick stretch or a few extra chores, a little movement goes a long way in keeping the cold at bay. If you are enjoying this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Close off unused rooms. Here's a simple yet powerful trick to keep your home warm. Close off the rooms you're not using. Think about it. Why waste energy heating spaces no one's in? The Amish have been doing this forever, and it's as practical as it gets. They focus on keeping their main living areas warm while letting unused rooms stay cooler. It's easy to do. Shut the doors to spare bedrooms, close off the formal dining room when it's not mealtime, and keep that guest room closed until someone actually needs it. When you do this, all the heat stays concentrated in the spaces where people spend their time instead of disappearing into empty rooms. It's like wearing a coat with a broken zipper. If you don't close it, you're losing all the warmth. The key is staying organized. Focus on keeping your kitchen, living room, and the rooms you use during the day warm and cozy. Then, about an hour before bedtime, open the bedroom doors to let some heat flow in. That way, you're not heating empty rooms all day. But you also won't be crawling into a freezing bed at night. For an extra boost, roll up some towels and place them at the bottom of closed doors to block drafts. It's a simple adjustment, but it makes a huge difference in keeping the warmth where it belongs. Practical, efficient, and easy. What more could you ask for? Wood-burning stove. When it comes to warming up your home, nothing beats a good old-fashioned wood-burning stove. These aren't just for show. They're incredibly powerful heaters that can warm up a room better than most modern heating systems. There's also something about the warmth from a wood stove that just feels different, cozier, more natural than forced air heat. The Amish have relied on wood stoves as their main heat source for generations. And for good reason. They're highly efficient, especially for heating smaller homes. And if you have access to your own firewood, running a wood stove can be way cheaper than using gas or electric heat. Even if you have to buy firewood, it's often less expensive than a hefty heating bill. But setting up a wood stove isn't as simple as plopping it in a room and lighting a fire. The Amish position their stoves carefully, usually in a central location so the heat spreads evenly throughout the house. They're also pros at choosing the right wood. Hardwoods like oak and maple burn hotter and longer than softer woods like pine, making them the better option for keeping your home warm. And there's a nice bonus. The top of a wood stove isn't just for looks. You can use it to keep tea warm, heat up soup, or even cook meals during power outages. If you're lucky enough to have or use a wood stove, let me know in the comments. I've been hearing that in some places, using wood stoves has been banned, which seems like such a shame. There's nothing quite like the warmth they bring to a home. Wear a jacket or sweater indoors. Did you know that throwing on a sweater or jacket indoors can significantly cut your heating bills? Before you reach for the thermostat, grab that cozy sweater from your closet. The Amish have perfected this simple approach to staying warm. They dress in practical, warm clothing rather than heating their homes to tropical temperatures. Natural fibers are your best friend here. Wool sweaters, in particular, are amazing at trapping heat close to your body. And they work even if they get a little damp from daily activities. A good wool sweater is like having a portable heater that follows you from room to room, keeping you warm wherever you go. Plus, if you start to feel too warm, it's as easy as peeling it off. Way simpler than cooling down an overheated room. The great thing about wearing warm clothes indoors is how customizable it is. Start with a light sweater, and if that's not enough, layer up with a vest or jacket. Some people even have a dedicated house sweater, a favorite cozy piece they wear just for lounging at home. Over time, it becomes like a warm, familiar friend, ready to wrap you in comfort whenever the chill sets in. So next time you're feeling cold, skip the thermostat and layer up. It's an easy, cost-effective way to stay warm and cozy all winter long. Rice heating packs. Let's talk about one of the most ingenious ways of keeping warm without cranking up that old thermostat. Rice heating packs. All these simple warmers work like a heater that can be conveniently carried around. The Amish make their own by putting plain rice in fabric pouches and heating them on wood stoves. But don't worry if you don't have a wood stove. A quick 2-minute spin in the microwave is more than enough. What makes rice packs so good is how versatile they are. The applications are endless. Just heat one up and throw it between your sheets to keep your bed warm before a well-earned night's sleep. Or put it behind your back whilst you're reading a book, or wrap it over your shoulders as you watch TV. The muscle-relaxing effect of the heat is truly wonderful. Believe me, I've tried it. Surprisingly, these little miracles can hold their heat for up to an hour, soothing any aches and pains you might have. It is very easy to make your rice heating pack. All you need is a sock or a small fabric bag of clean, uncooked rice. Sew it up, and you're done. As a final touch, some folk use dried lavender or herbs, which makes a lovely aroma when heated. You can create different sizes for various uses. Shorter ones for carrying in your pockets, little longer ones for carrying around your neck, or big ones for warming your feet. But remember not to get them wet, or you'll end up with rice pudding dripping out of an old sock, and no one needs that. Hot water bottles. One of the oldest remedies against the cold, which seems to be an all-time classic, is the use of hot water bottles. These simple rubber bottles filled with hot water are like little radiators you can carry about. The Amish heat their water on wood stoves, but you can use your kitchen tap, just make sure the water isn't boiling. These little miracles are great at bedtime. Just stick one at the bottom of your bed 15 minutes before you hit the hay, and you'll be melting into warm sheets instead of those chilly blankets. You can slip one behind your back too to keep those lumbar muscles loose while sitting or reading your favorite book. Some people even wrap them in a sock or a small blanket and carry them around the house like a little squishy portable heater. The beauty of hot water bottles is that they are relatively affordable and can be used again and again. Unlike electric heating pads, they don't need power to work, so there is no risk of getting an electric shock. Make sure you check them for any leaks and never fill them with boiling water, and you should be good to go. If the water gets cold, just tip it out and refill the bottle. The simplest solutions always seem to work the best. The age-old favorite, the hot water bottle, is here to stay. Warm beverages. There isn't a better way to warm yourself up than a cup of your favorite hot beverage. It's not only the comfort of warming your hands. Having a hot drink warms you up from the inside out. On cold winter mornings and evenings, the Amish usually gather together to have a hot drink, killing two birds with one stone here. Not only warming themselves up, but socializing too. With an endless variety of hot drinks to choose from, the Amish are never short on options. Hot tea is perfect any time of day, from the standard black tea to herbal teas that will help you fall asleep better. Hot cider is another go-to favorite, and adding cinnamon sticks to it makes it truly delicious. Even a hot glass of water with a slice of lemon works wonders too. If you're a coffee fan, just a heads up. Don't drink it too close to bedtime unless you're cool with lying awake counting sheep all night. The great thing about hot drinks, though, is they're a total win-win. They warm up your hands while you're holding the cup and heat you up from the inside with every sip. What's even better, they make you slow down. Taking a moment to sip on something warm is like hitting pause on the chaos. Keep a thermos of tea or coffee nearby while you work, or make it part of your routine to grab a hot drink before heading out into the cold. Just don't rush it. Let it cool down a little first. Trust me, a burned tongue is no way to start your day. Area rugs. Stepping onto a cold floor first thing in the morning? It's like waking up and stepping straight onto ice cubes. That's where area rugs save the day. Think of them as little cozy islands scattered around your house, keeping your feet warm and happy. Sure, the Amish might make their own rugs, and more power to them, but you don't need to channel your inner weaver to enjoy the same comfort. A good area rug from a store, or even a thrift shop, does the job just as well. And let's be real, rugs aren't just about keeping your feet cozy. They're about creating a space that feels inviting and warm, no matter the weather. Area rugs do more than just feel nice. They actually help insulate your home, especially if you've got wood or stone floors. Think of them as blankets for your floors, creating a barrier between your warm feet and that chilly surface below. The thicker the rug, the better it is at trapping heat and keeping the cold at bay. The best spots for rugs are the places you're always standing or walking, like next to your bed, in front of the kitchen sink, or in your living room. Wool rugs are especially great for insulation, but honestly, any thick rug will do the trick. Here's a pro tip. Check out thrift stores or yard sales for rugs. You can often score high-quality pieces at bargain prices, and with a quick cleaning, they'll look good as new. Just don't forget to throw a non-slip pad underneath to keep them secure. Nobody needs a surprise slip and slide situation. The sun's heat. Here's the cheapest heating trick ever. Using the sun's free heat. It's a method the Amish have been using for generations, and it doesn't cost a dime. The idea is simple. Work with the sun's natural pattern to heat your home, kind of like a greenhouse. The key is timing. As soon as the sun comes up, open your curtains and blinds, especially on windows facing east and south. These are your sun catchers, pulling in all that morning warmth and spreading it through your rooms. It's an easy way to let nature do the work for you. and it's completely free. As the sun moves across the sky, it naturally warms your home, kind of like a giant solar panel working for free. The Amish are masters of this. They even plan their daily activities around where the sun's shining, making the most of its warmth. But here's the key. Once the sun starts to set, close those curtains right away. That's how you trap all that free heat inside instead of letting it sneak out through cold windows. Think of it like putting a lid on a pot of soup to keep it hot. It's such a simple trick, but it makes a big difference in keeping your home cozy. And the best part? The sun doesn't charge a dime for its work. Get close to family for body heat. Staying warm gets a whole lot easier when you're not flying solo. It's something the Amish have known forever. Now, I'm not saying you need to pack the whole family into one room like they did back in the day, but sharing body heat is still one of the simplest and most effective ways to stay cozy without cranking up the thermostat. Think about it. Humans are like walking heaters, each giving off about as much warmth as a 100-watt light bulb. When the family hangs out in the same room, everyone shares that natural warmth. The Amish have this down to a science, often arranging their furniture into cozy little clusters. They'll sit close together, whether they're reading, sewing, or just chatting, especially on those bitterly cold nights. It's smart, simple, and honestly kind of nice. Sharing sleeping spaces is another great way to stay warm, and it can be fun too. Kids can have sleepovers in one room, turning it into a little adventure while keeping everyone cozy. Even pets can help out. Having your dog or cat curled up at the foot of your bed adds that extra bit of warmth. But it's not just about staying warm. Spending time close together as a family creates those little moments that turn winter into something special. It's kind of like penguins huddling up in the Antarctic. There's something natural and comforting about gathering close when the cold sets in. Wool hats and scarves. Your mom wasn't messing around when she told you to wear a hat. You really do lose a ton of heat through your head and neck. The Amish know this better than anyone, which is why you'll often see them rocking warm hats and scarves, even indoors. It might feel a little strange to keep your hat on inside, but when you think about it, it makes total sense. Wool is the MVP here. It's like nature's insulation system. A good wool hat traps all that warm air trying to escape through your head, which is crucial since that's one of the main places your body heat tends to slip away. The same deal goes for scarves. Wrapping one around your neck is basically like putting weather stripping on a drafty door. It keeps the warmth right where it belongs. The Amish women often knit their own hats and scarves. But don't worry, you don't need to bust out knitting needles to get the same benefit. Just grab a good hat and scarf, and you're set. Any warm hat will get the job done. But wool is definitely the gold standard. It's great because it keeps you warm, even if it gets a little damp from snow or rain. Practical and cozy, can't beat that. Here's a smart move. Keep a few hats and scarves stashed near your go-to spots, like the couch or your favorite chair. That way, if you start feeling a chill, you can just grab one and warm up without having to wander around looking for it. Simple, but it makes a big difference. Turtleneck shirts. We don't see the Amish rocking turtlenecks all that often. But honestly, this tip is too good to pass up. A turtleneck is like a built-in scarf. It keeps your neck warm and prevents heat from escaping through one of your body's biggest heat loss areas. The best part? It does all that without making you look like you're heading off on a polar expedition. Turtlenecks are super practical because they stay in place all day, unlike scarves that can shift around or get in the way. They're also perfect for layering. Throw one on under a shirt or sweater, and you've got an extra layer of warmth without the bulk. Some people even wear them under their work clothes to stay warm at the office. Look for soft, natural materials like cotton or a cotton wool blend. They're comfy, breathable, and won't leave you itchy. Keep a few in different colors in your closet, and you'll have a stylish, warm base layer ready whenever the temperature drops. Plus, they're great for those days when you want to stay cozy but still look put together. Create small, warm zones in your house. Now let's talk about warming your home the smart way. Instead of trying to heat the entire house, focus on creating small, warm zones where you actually spend your time. The Amish are pros at this. They gather around wood stoves, kerosene heaters, or other heat sources to create a cozy island of warmth. It's practical and efficient. Think about it. Does your guest bathroom really need to be warm 24/7? Does your laundry room need to feel like a beach day? Probably not. Instead, pick one or two key areas, like the living room or kitchen, where people naturally gather and focus on making those spaces warm and inviting. Creating these warm zones is easy. Use a space heater, wood stove, or other heat source in your main living area. Close off unused rooms to keep the heat where you need it. Arrange your furniture to make the most of the warmth, and set up cozy spots for reading, watching TV, or working near the heat source. You might even find that these warm zones bring your family together more often. After all, everyone naturally flocks to the warmest, coziest spot in the house. It's not just about staying warm. It's about creating a space where everyone feels comfortable and connected. Create a candle heater. Here's a heating trick that feels almost like magic, making a simple heater with candles and a flower pot. The Amish, who've been using candles for both light and heat for generations, have mastered smart ways to get the most out of them. This little setup is like creating your own mini fireplace, and it's perfect for warming up a small space. Here's how it works. Grab a few candles and place them in a metal container. Then, cover them with an upside-down terracotta pot. The pot traps the heat from the candles and radiates it into the room, working like a tiny space heater. It's shockingly effective for something so simple, and it costs almost nothing to run. The Amish often make their own candles, which makes this trick even more economical. Of course, safety is key. Always put your candle heater on a stable, fireproof surface and never leave it unattended. Keep it away from anything flammable, and make sure it's out of reach of kids and pets who might accidentally knock it over. Now, this won't heat your whole house, but it can make a small space feel a lot cozier. And let's be real, there's something incredibly calming about the soft glow of candles on a cold winter evening. It's practical, peaceful, and just a little bit genius. Keep your doors closed. Shut the door! You're letting all the heat out. If you heard that a lot growing up, your parents were onto something. Keeping doors closed is one of the easiest and most effective ways to stay warm. Of course, getting kids, or even some adults, to remember can feel like an uphill battle, but it's worth it. The Amish know this well. To them, an open door isn't just an inconvenience. It's like tossing money out the window in the form of lost heat. Every time a door stays open, all that warm air rushes out, and cold air sneaks in, cooling your house faster than you'd expect. It's like leaving the fridge door open, but instead of just your kitchen, you're chilling your whole home. The Amish take it a step further by lining their door frames with strips of wool or cloth to seal any little gaps where drafts might creep through. It's like giving your door a winter jacket. Some families even hang heavy curtains over their doors for extra insulation. These small adjustments add up, keeping the cold out and the warmth in. The real trick is making it a habit. Start closing doors automatically, just like you'd turn off the lights when you leave a room. It's such a simple change, but it makes a world of difference in keeping your home cozy. Every bit helps when it comes to staying warm during the winter months. Before we jump into the final tip, let me know in the comments which of these tips you found the most useful and which tricks you're already using to stay warm. I'd love to hear what's working for you. Chimney and stove maintenance. Taking care of your chimney and wood stove might not be the most thrilling part of winter prep, but trust me, it's one of the most important. The Amish have it down to a science. A well-maintained heating system is like a well-oiled machine. It works better, lasts longer, keeps you warmer, and most importantly, stays safe. Think of your chimney as the exhaust pipe on your car. It needs to be cleaned to do its job properly. When wood burns, it leaves behind creosote, a sticky, flammable substance that builds up inside your chimney. Too much buildup, and you're risking a chimney fire. And that's not the kind of winter excitement anyone wants. The Amish clean their chimneys regularly, usually before winter kicks in, and sometimes even mid-season if the stove's been working overtime. Your wood stove needs some love too. Clean out the ashes regularly. Too much ash at the bottom messes with airflow and makes your fire burn less efficiently. Check the seals around the stove door as well. If they're worn or cracked, you're losing precious heat and wasting wood. A little maintenance goes a long way. Just like an old truck needs oil changes to keep running, your heating system needs care to keep the warmth flowing. These 25 Amish-inspired tips prove that staying warm doesn't have to cost a fortune. From practical tricks like layering clothes and sealing drafts, to clever ideas like candle heaters and rice packs, there are plenty of ways to stay cozy without breaking the bank. Sometimes the old ways really are the best ways.